And Peterhead, the only non-league side left in the competition, earned a useful 2-2 draw at Wraith Rovers. At Douglas Park, Hamilton, conquerors of Rangers in the last round, found Motherwell far more difficult to handle.
Hamilton in red hoops attracted a near-capacity crowd to Douglas Park for the fourth-round derby with Motherwell, having claimed the scalp of cup favourites Rangers at Ibrox in the previous round. And it was Adrian Sprott, the tormentor of Rangers, who almost gave Accies the lead. But it was Motherwell who went ahead. A switch of play saw Steve Kirk cross from the right for Andy Walker to net with a diving header at the far post. Walker gave Fraser Wishart room to cross 9 minutes later. A near-identical goal, this time scored from the head of Steve Kirk. With late pressure being piled on by Hamilton, a consolation goal came from Phillips. But the prize of a money-spinning quarter-final meeting with Hearts at Tynecastle awaits Motherwell. Final score, Hamilton 1, Motherwell 2.
Rugby Union's Five Nations Championship looks like being a battle between France and Scotland. Both teams won today. The Scots, playing their first match of the season, beat Ireland 16-12, and at Twickenham the French proved once again too good for England. England, given little chance before the start, lifted their game, and Rob Andrews' drop goal gave them a 9-point lead at half-time. But in the second half, the wind behind them, France started to run away with it. Chom made the breakthrough, and Bonival did the rest.
France to the line, a try for Bonival.
A much better performance, this by England, though still not quite good enough.
Win them the lead back. Marcus Rose.
It was clearly not going to be their day.
Off the post.
Over 60,000 people and some others watched as the French made the most of everything which came their way. Sella quick enough and strong enough.
Sella again, all the way. Rose is the last hope, but Sella's made it.
By the end, France had that bit more polish with the boot as well, winning the game by 19 points to 15. At Murrayfield, the boot of John Rutherford gave Scotland an early advantage over Ireland. 14 minutes later, he repeated the trick. But the Irish recovered to take the lead, starting with this try from Donald Lenihan. Back came Scotland, and Roy Laidlaw put the defending champions in front once again. Another Scottish try, this time from Ivan Tuckalo, put the game beyond the visitors' reach. Scotland winning 16-12. Athletics, and Linford Christie's bid to retain his 200-metre European indoor title has ended in failure. Christie, who's only just recovered from chickenpox, dropped out during the heats at this year's championships in France. Christie started well, but was soon being caught by the others.
Murray Rose in lane number 3 leads. Terrell second, Scammell third, and Christie's pulled out with leg trouble. Murray Rose wins, Scammell second, Terrell third, Catalano fourth.
That's all from Michael and me tonight. Thank you for your overwhelming support. Good night.
Should women in the Church of England be allowed not just to preach, but to give communion and perform all the duties of the priesthood? And if the Church so decides next week, will this lead to a split, with notable opponents like the Bishop of London even threatening to separate and approach the Church of Rome? We'll be hearing from him tomorrow, and we'll also be discussing how loudly the Church should speak out on political matters. That's this week, next week, tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Hello to you. Well, during today the weather has been changing a little bit. It's all due to this warm front As its name implies, it's been bringing somewhat milder weather southwards, but bringing a lot of cloud as well. And you can see this on the satellite picture. Last night, a fair amount of cloud in the north, and as we've gone through today, so this cloud has pushed its way steadily southwards and is now working its way down towards southwestern parts of England. Now, the thickest cloud at the moment is in the southeastern quarter, where there is a little bit of rain and drizzle. It really isn't mounting to very much, but nonetheless it is there, the first we've seen for quite some time. And through the night, you'll find this cloud continuing to work its way southwestwards. Now, with all the cloud around, it isn't going to be a particularly cold night. There could be just one or two little patches of frost, but I think for most of us, as you see, the temperature staying just above freezing. One or two spots to pick out, perhaps western part of Ireland, northern coast of France. There you could well just get just a little touch of frost now and again. Tomorrow then, a lot of cloud around, mist and fog clearing up through the morning. Not very much in the way of brightness, perhaps a little bit in western Scotland and in western parts of Wales. But near the eastern coast, the cloud thickest there to give a little bit of rain or drizzle from time to time, perhaps a bit of sleet up in Shetland. Tomorrow then, a relatively mild day, especially in the south, up to 7 Celsius, 45 Fahrenheit. That's it. Bye-bye.
Sunday night on BBC One. At 7:15, comedy in Last of the Summer Wine.
A pretty girl, like a melody. She came from Pontefract.
At 7:45, a new series of The District Nurse, and Megan travels to a new job.
I tell you, girl, you've arrived not a moment too soon. If any two people need help, it's Emlyn and Betson.
That's why I'm here.
At 8:35, Mastermind features 4 contenders from London and the southeast.
Enjoying this?
At 9:05, That's Life shows women how to defend themselves if a brutal thug like Doc Cox attacks them. At 9:45, live World Championship Boxing. America's Johnny Bumpus seeks to take the World Welterweight title from Britain's Lloyd Hannigan. Some of the entertainment tomorrow night on BBC One. More details in Radio Times.
Our film on 1 in 45 minutes is a martial arts western adventure set after the gold rush in California, Blood Money. Before that, the action is on the streets of present-day New York, where the impending marathon causes a crisis of conscience for Cagney and Lacey.
Tomorrow, live on One, World Boxing, when Britain's Lloyd Hannigan defends his World Welterweight title against America's Johnny Bumpus. Live tomorrow, 9:45 on BBC One and Radio 2. A film has been made about the Majestics. But who are they? Why are they special, and who is this Danny person? To find out, we got hold of the manager.
Carry on, Captain. Danny McGlow, or as became affectionately known to all of us, Danny Boy. By some trick of fortune and the not inconsiderable help of Clockerty Enterprises, of which I happen to be chairman and chief executive.
Are you making all this up, Mr. Clockerty? He's making all this up.
Excuse me 1 second. Listen, you wee scunner, can you not see I'm trying to tell them about the Majestics?
That shouldn't take long. I mean, what's to tell?
What's to tell? You've got nearly 6 hours of film, you stupid girl.
Aye, well, that's about sex, death, rock and roll, infidelity, blackmail, suicide, jealousy, manipulation, love, pregnancies and attempted murder. I mean, there's nothing about shoes, office romance or Proust. Who wants to watch that?
Miss Turner here was taken onto my staff while I was away having a hernia operation.
Well, now that's all been cleared up. You can watch the Majestics in Tutti Frutti soon on BBC One.
And now on BBC One, East Meets West in our feature film, a martial arts mystery western starring Lee Van Cleef and Lo Lieh, Blood Money.
Awards are put together. The committee sit down first of all and they work out the nominations, and then those nominations are taken to the members of the British phonographic industry and they vote on who the winners should be. So the whole industry has a hand in who should win, and that's exactly what they've done for our next category, previously won by such people as Annie Lennox and Kim Wilde and Randy Crawford. It's the nominations for Best Female Singer of 1986.